Over the man, and that color looks good on it too.
Yeah, got this from
The store?
the store. Yeah, it was crazy. I put in my order and said, please, allow up to 6 weeks for delivery. I'm like, oh dang.
Well, Tom likes it because it looks like season.
It smell like mustard or butter though.
I mean, both the top and the bottom. So,
Hey, Stanley,
yeah.
the Cami Gore-Tex parka, you want to sell?
I was thinking about this one too.
Keeping it?
An auction.
Deer hunting, man.
Okay. No, I'm gonna be the junior ROTC instructor at the high school.
I do have, my other uniform, but,
I got a set from,
the uniform.
Navy Marine Corps Relief Society for $10. So I got my blouse and the sailor trunks. Yeah. So the first time I went in there, I walked in the door and they're closed, but the guy let me in. So I didn't want to bother, so I ran to the rack and just, okay, it's a large pants. Get back to my house. I put it on. I'm like, wow, this is like super snug in the shoulders. I take it off. I look, it was a maternity. I pulled it off the ladies rack. I'm like, what?
That should be.
It fit the midsection pretty well, I'm guessing.
All right, the officers will not take their respective stations. Unauthorized guests will kindly retire and the guard will close the door. By the power invested in me, I'm about to open post 921 for the transaction of any business may lawfully come before it. Officer today certify that all present shall remain. Tan hut. Uncover. Tom Chaplain. Chaplain off for the opening prayer. Parade, rest.
Let us bow our heads, O sovereign ruler of the universe, who art the Lord of hosts and God of peace. Without thee, our efforts are in vain. Continue thy blessings upon us and our families, we pray thee, and guide us during our deliberations. We beseech thee, O God, to bless the dependents of our departed comrades and to comfort all who gave their loved ones to our nation's cause. Bless and strengthen the sick, the needy, and the afflicted. Bless, we ask thee, the widows and children in our national home, and help us to fulfill our duty towards them. Continue thy favor upon our order and help us to practice the spirit of true comradeship, both in our councils and with the world at large. Enable us to better the community in which we live through our devotion to duty as citizens. We now have a moment of silent prayer for our departed comrades. These and all other necessary blessings we ask of thee, mighty ruler of the universe. Amen.
Amen.
Tan hut. Cover. Comrades, will you now join me to pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America? Present arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order, arms. Comrades, we are assembled again to transact business of mutual benefit. Do not let petty jealousies or trivial personality influence our deliberations. Let us uphold always the obligation of unselfish comradeship and loyalty to our organization and the government, United States of America. I now declare post 921 duly open for the transaction of business. Guard, we admit any in waiting who may be worthy. The objects of the Veterans of Foreign Wars are fraternal, patriotic, historical, and educational. Preserve and strengthen comradeship among members, to assist worthy comrades, to perpetuate the memory and history of our dead, and to assist their widows and orphans, to maintain true allegiance to the government of the United States of America, fidelity to its Constitution and laws, to foster true patriotism, to maintain and extend the institutions of American freedom, preserve and defend the United States from all enemies. Do we have any visitors? Stand up, introduce yourself.
Say again.
Just stand up and introduce yourself to everybody.
Carl Skeen, former United States Marine,
And you're here with,
James Hampton.
and you're from,
Kentucky, Richmond.
Nice. Well, thanks for coming. Appreciate you being here. All right. Recognizing post past commanders, Elmer Johnson. On the roll of officers.
Commander Chris Cote,
Present.
Senior Vice Commander Matt Hummerly,
Excused.
Junior Vice Commander Carson Bus,
Here.
myself, Stanley Hornbeck, last name spelled wrong.
I'll fix that.
Chaplain Dan Humphrey. There. First year trustee Otis Wolf.
Excused.
Second year trustee Elmer Johnson. There. Third year trustee James Hampton.
Present.
Adjutant Brian Cornell.
Here.
Service officer Bruce Krieger. Here. Judge advocate Jamie Pike.
Here.
Surgeon Tom Greenberg. Here. All present and accounted for.
Thank you. All right. Reading and referring membership application.
Yes, I have in front of me two membership applications. We have a Army veteran from Iraq, Afghanistan, Sean Strong.
Okay. Sean, come on up.
Okay, and we have a second one, a Vietnam Army veteran, Dennis Jansen.
And then we have, are you? Yeah, come on up.
just have to fill mine
Yeah,
out.
come on up.
Well,
Come on up.
state your name.
We'll let you know when he comes up. Come on up. All right, Sean, introduce yourself.
I'm Sean Strong. I'm from here, Snohomish, Washington. I'm a current member of the 176 Engineer Company here at Snohomish.
You're not a member. Tell me what your role is.
I'm the first sergeant at 176 Engineer Company.
Senior listed, right?
Yeah. See, I was. Yeah, been in the Guard for 9 years now. I was active duty for 10. Did 2 rotations to Iraq, active duty, and 2 rotations to Afghanistan, also active.
And Trina that's in the FRG.
Yep, MOS, a member of the SFRG for the unit.
Right. So anybody that's members of the Adopt Unit Committee, you've met Trina before. She's very active, as is Brian's wife. So thanks, Sean. We've been trying to get him to join for how long, Tom?
Got him. That's
Got
all.
him. Exactly. All right. Dennis, you're up.
Combat engineer in Vietnam. I've been married 3 times, divorced.
So did you grow up here?
Yeah.
So do you know Bruce and do you know Otis Wolf?
Bruce Krieger, Vietnam, 69 and 70.
Sounds familiar. The name does. Yeah, Seymour's is my grandpa, Eugene and Henrietta.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob is my cousin McDaniels. Vickers is my great uncle.
You are.
Hey, we're very appreciative that you're here. Thank you. All right, come on up here, front and center.
Brett Nycar again, with Navy. I did 2 deployments. One was to Middle East, delivered Marines to over there so they can do their job. We also did some drug operations off Columbia, been deployed twice. First shore duty, back to sea. Been at 8 years.
And what rate are you?
HT, full tech, third chaser.
Otis would love you. He's not here tonight. All right. So all 3 meet the criteria to be members, correct, Stanley?
That is correct.
Okay. So all in favor of adopting our new, oh, sorry,
Accept these members as presented.
do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Wait, we got any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? See, Dan, you can check, right? Yeah. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now we got to swear you guys in. All right, front and center. Left hand on the flag, single file line, so you're first. Left hand on the flag, raise your right hand. Left hand on his shoulder. And raise your right hand. Okay. In the presence of Almighty God and the members of this order here assembled, I
Sean Strong,
Dennis Jansen.
Brett Nycar.
Do solemnly swear by my own free will and accord, solemnly promise that I declare that I will bear true allegiance to, well, I'll say that again. I will bear true allegiance
I will bear true allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States of America,
to the Constitution of the United States of America.
and I'll always be loyal thereto.
So thereto.
I do solemnly promise and declare
I do solemnly promise and declare
that I will comply with the congressional charter,
that I will comply with the congressional charter,
bylaws, and rituals of this order.
bylaws, and rituals of this order.
I will always be loyal thereto.
I will always be loyal thereto,
I'll never wrong do
never wrongdo
or defraud this organization,
or defraud this organization,
nor a member thereof,
nor a member thereof.
nor permit any wrong
Any wrong
to be done to either,
to be done to either
if in my power to prevent it.
power to prevent it.
I will never propose for membership
I will never propose for membership
any person not eligible,
any person not eligible,
nor one whom I know to be unworthy.
one who I know to be unworthy.
I'll never make known to anyone
Never make known to anyone
not authorized to receive it,
not authorized to receive it,
any of the work of this order.
any of the work of this order.
Should my affiliation
Should by affiliation
with the veterans of foreign wars of the United States
with the veterans of foreign wars of the United States
cease in any way,
cease in any way,
I'll consider this pledge
I'll consider this pledge
as binding outside of the order,
as binding outside of the order,
as though I had remained a member of the same.
as though I had remained.
All this I promise and pledge
All of this I promise to pledge
upon the honor of a true comrade
upon the honor of a true comrade,
and citizen or national
citizen or natural
of our great republic.
of our great republic.
Congratulations.
For just the sake of.
First, Trinity, you got 3 more people to work with now.
Right. And Sean, you got a bolt, but Sam, I'll get your cover.
Whatever your hat size. I didn't change that much.
All right. So we'll keep moving while those guys are getting the covers. Reading of minutes, our minutes are now on the post YouTube channel. We're doing video and audio minutes, so it's a recording of this meeting. This one is going to be audio only because we don't have the camera because George is out of town. But next month we'll get it audio and video. You can go to the next one, for national training, and then go to the next slide. There you go.
You remember.
Dennis, Sean, and what's petty officer's name? What was your first name again? Petty officer. What was your first name?
Brett,
Brett.
BRTT.
Okay, so Brett, Dennis, and Sean, you get your covers, Stanley order, your name tag takes about 6 weeks to come in. All right. Well, you come to the next meet, when you come to meetings, Stanley has them out and back on a board over there where Sean is. Your name tag will be there, just grab it, put on your cover.
Make sure I.
And as far as bling on your covers, put whatever you want on them. Did you give them All-American pins, Stanley? And what about the Maltese cross?
Yeah, I gotta order more of them.
Cross malt, correct. So we'll get you that stuff at the next meeting. But your membership for this year is all paid for. In the meantime, Stanley's gonna be passing around a muster sheet, sign-in sheet. Just go ahead and sign your name. But there's more people that showed up. All right, before we get going further on Stanley's quartermaster report, if you hadn't heard already, we made All-State and All-American again this year. Congratulations. The hops and drops in June, I think we got how many folks from that one, Stanley? Like 3 or 4? The hops and drops event in June, we got 3 or 4 new members off of that one. And so those members put us, so we needed 122. And I want to say we got up to 124 this year. So we got 2 more people than we needed, which is great. Next year, I think the number we got to hit is 128 members. So the members that we have, and then we just got to add a few new ones and make sure that we renew and re-up everybody that we had. I've got a list that I'll put up on the table upstairs of the members that didn't renew last year. And if you know any of these folks that are friends of yours, just go ahead and reach out to them so we can get them renewed, just to make it a little bit easier for next year. So, but congratulations. How many of you don't have an All-American cap yet? Okay, did you get one, Scott, the years before when we got them? Okay. Dan, did you get an All-American cover? Okay. For those members that were members during last fiscal year, so July 1st of 2023 to June 30th of 2024. If you don't have an All-American cover, we're going to go ahead and vote here shortly for that, but it's generally, we'll buy, if you participated with either 3 meetings or did poppy drives, then that qualifies you as a participating member in the post, and then you earn the All-American cover. We'll cover the cost for that too. All right, quartermaster report, Stanley.
Report, sir. For the month of June 2024, Microsoft M365 is a reoccurring payment for the website. That was $13.68. Domino's Pizza for our meeting was $97.14. New member fees, and we brought in quite a few new members, and that was $240. American Legion post 96. The rent that we have here for second quarter of 24 was $375. And Tom Kingbring, the parade fee of $60. Did I get a receipt on that one?
I believe you did. I forwarded it a while back.
All right.
I'll double check though.
Okay. And then the VFW convention hotel fee was $439.74. They had total expenditures of $1,225.
And you have Otis's receipt from the hotel.
I do, and I was just working on this check as we were.
Yep. Okay. Just want to make sure you saw the receipt.
All right, I got all this taken care of.
Yep.
Don't want to be on his bad side.
No.
All right, so our June, the receipts that we have, money coming in, Wells Fargo with the VFW national membership payments was $32, and the Wells Fargo savings, our interest was a whopping 8 cents from us. So at the end of the month, status was our Wells Fargo check-in for the month of June was $4,698.44. That was a decrease of $1,193.29. Our Wells Fargo savings was $9,338.30. That was an increase of our interest of 8 cents. And then the Morgan Stanley Dean Winter was $105,388.10. Good month for equities, and we had an increase of $1,411.87. And July 2024, okay? So, because remember, we didn't do last month. So. VFW national member payments, $8. VFW national life lifetime members payments, that was $14.24. So they pay a bit more for lifetime members than regular members. And then donations collected at Hot Drops, $1,397.
And, the Army basket raised the most amount of money out of the baskets. Crushed it. I want to say the Army basket. Then I want to say Navy was second, followed by the Marines, and then Air Force brought up the caboose. But that's a huge increase. We doubled our net from the first one last year, and it was easy. All we had to do is eat and drink. So I'll get with Mina, the manager, to get it scheduled for next year. But yeah, thanks a lot for those that participated. It was a huge success, as you can see.
Did I get an expenditures slide in here for July?
Yep.
Is that next? Okay, disbursements, okay. Microsoft 365 recurrent expense. This was $27.36, and that's because they charge us the $16 at the beginning of the month and then right at the last day of the month. So I would not be expecting another charge in August. So I'll be watching out for that to make sure they're not overcharging us. Our new member fee, $90, we paid in for new memberships, and then ordered a bunch of covers and name tags for $277.95, a total expenditure of $395.31. And then the status of our funds for July, Wells Fargo checking. It was $5,722.37, which is an increase of $1,023.93 from the Hops and Drops receipt. And then Wells Fargo savings, $9,338.38, another whopping 8 cents there. And then Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, $106,273.65. We're cracking on quite a bit there. Looking good. Hopefully it'll keep going up. This month equities was kind of iffy the other day, but I think it'll still go up. So that was an increase of $885.05.
Okay, next. Any bills? Just Otis's.
Yeah, I'm just.
You want to read that? Sweet. You got to read how much it is. Sweet. It's an outstanding bill. So, no, it's receipt. No. Then yeah, you got his receipt. It's right there, yeah.
Yeah, so we have a bill here, write a check out to Otis Wolf for convention hotel cost fees for $585.96.
Okay,
The
hold on.
same amount was also written for Bruce Krieger for hotel convention fees.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the expenditure?
Motion that as proposed.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All right, expenses are approved.
I just want to check to Bruce.
Okay. All right,
Why giving it back?
next.
Is mini bar on that?
All right, report to the service officer. That's you, Bruce.
The two different people, main issue we've been coming across lately is people applying for medical, and for some reason, the VA has kicked them back and said they make too much money to get medical. Now, I have a theory on that, but I'm not supposed to swear at one of these meetings, but I have already sworn at the VA, and I will continue to, and I will keep working on them. I'll let you guys know if they're secure for it, because I've heard it's happening all over right now.
Thank you. Is there a comrade or a family of a comrade in distress? I have one member that's got outstanding medical bill. Currently, the balance on this medical bill is $227. I feel that he's a worthy member and I'd like to help him out. So can I have a motion to approve that we cover his expenditure?
We move that we cover that expense as requested.
Do I have a second? Do we have any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All right. Stanley. I'll get with you after the meeting so we can write a check for that individual. I'll get it after the meeting. Yep. Okay, so my family's got a lot of stuff going on. My wife had her knee replaced the end of June, and my son got his knee surgery last Wednesday. But on July 10th, my mother-in-law went in for preventative surgery. Her brother-in-law died 2 months ago of colorectal cancer, and 3 years ago when he was diagnosed, she went in for a colonoscopy. They found a large polyp that they couldn't remove with the scope, so they did a bowel resection then, put her on the 3-year colonoscopy plan. She went in March, found another big polyp they couldn't remove from the scope, so they scheduled her bowel resection for July 10th. She went in, they opened her up, and they had cancer everywhere. The biopsy in March was benign, but the way the surgeon described it, you have the tumor in there, and the tissue sample they got from one side was clear, the other side was full of cancer, and it spread. So when they opened her up, it was in her colon and her liver, and then they did a post-surgery CAT scan, and it's in her lungs. So they gave her a month to live. They discharged her right from the hospital and right to hospice. So she's currently residing at home. So if you can keep my in-laws and my wife in your prayers, thoughts, that'd be great. So, all right, next. All right, report of all committees. Poppies.
And turn for Eric, because he's thing, but.
Yep.
Poppy Committee, thanks everybody stepping up and contributing to that. And also the thank you cards that we did. Those really go a long way. The people who are managers of these stores, it means a lot. So they want to say thank you for that. Also, the bins are all restocked. They're good through Memorial Weekend of 2025. And we've got 4,757 poppies. Eric had it down to that number. He counted them. Must have been a slow day or something. But there's also, you can do a motion to purchase 3,000 additional poppies because we do go through them. Really popular.
So everyone make a motion to,
Not at this time.
it's minimal. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like 25 cents a poppy. So it's less than 500. I could approve it myself because it's less than 500, but while we're here. Next
I
one.
would move that we approve a spend not to exceed $500 to purchase 3,000 poppies.
Okay. All right, second, all in favor? All right, any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion to approve properties as required. We'll get you the number, 3,000. We got first. Okay,
And last is, as of August 12th, we're getting permissions for Veterans Day. That's coming up pretty quickly, but that's the way corporate's working nowadays. You gotta have a form filled out and signed and then up to wherever, some bean count or somewhere. So, but anyway, thank you, and remember to, we'll sign up sheets shortly. And for the cause, as we all know.
and James, since we have new members here, can you tell them, so they used to be called Poppy Drives. Now the VFW has made us change the name to information booths. Because we do more than just hand out poppies. We recruit members and put out information about the VFW and what we do. So you want to explain?
That's it.
All right.
We're at Hagen, Safeway, Do It Center, and Fred Meyer here in Snohomish. We have table set up out. And we just let people know the VFW is here in Snohomish, what we do. We also do the ramps for veterans. That Bruce heads up. A lot of good things that people may not be aware. And also great way to raise money. Every time we do this, I'm amazed that people are so giving. We find your time. That's people always. Yes.
When you do the information booth, do you have like a flyer that everyone's putting out the same message kind of thing, or is it just from terminology?
No, we have bins for each table, so they're all the same, and we have all the same information. And actually one just for our post, and then also the VFW in general.
And what are the hours of the shifts?
Oh, Do It Center's 9 to 3, and then Safeway and everybody else is 10 to 4.
And there are 2 shifts. So you do like 10 to 1 or 9 to 1, and then the afternoon shift. So AM shift and the PM shift. So we look for volunteers to do that. It's a lot of fun. And the Marine Corps JROTC unit from Snohomish, Glacier Peak, they send out their cadets in either their camis or their blues, and they help us. Really, they do all the work. They stand out in front of their uniform, and that attracts all the people. And as the supervisor, we just kind of stand there and are there for VFW specific information, but the cadets do a lot of the fundraising.
They love doing it. We'll have sign up sheets, soon. They'll be here and also online, so. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, man.
Yep. Wrap it up.
For our post members, we have a ramp to put in for them. We don't have a lot of the little bits and pieces, but I talked to Jose, he's getting them for me. I don't have a date because Jose just doesn't do that. As soon as we get it, we have the major parts. We just don't have the connectors to put everything together. And it's only 18 feet, so it'll be probably 3-hour install. And that's just outside of town, so it'll be looking easy. But I have to go down to Tacoma later this week. There's post, it's 969 in Tacoma. They have the need of a ramp for one of their members. But this one's gonna be a lot more difficult because it's 5 foot to the starting point to the ground. And so that's 60 feet of ramps. Anything over 20 foot, I have to put a landing. So I will have to go down and take measurements of the lot and the property. And I'll have to take my laser down so that if I get any elevation changes, I have to draw up a drawing plan. Then I have to make up a materials list. And it's going to require a grant, UPS. So when Greg gets back from Hawaii putting in a ramp, he didn't have me to go with him, but then that'll go through. I don't want to totally deplete our stock by just saying, yeah, we'll pull everything out of that and just get the small pieces to do this ramp in Tacoma, because then we won't have any options for anything for anybody. So this one could take a while. I have to put in for a grant. That's why I'm gonna have Greg do it. He knows how to do those and he has all the connections. Hopefully I'll have the drawing and the parts list and everything by the end of this next weekend. And Greg will be back from Hawaii and he'll take care of putting it in. I have no idea how long it will take, but I wanted to be a part of the grant process. So if it came up again, I could do all the legwork.
All right, for our new members, Operation Ramp It Up is a national program. Bruce is the Western Region representative. It's not a VFW specific program, but our post supports it and supports Bruce. The ramps are all metal. And it's kind of like putting together a Rector set. There's really not much besides needing like a socket set and some power drills and stuff. If you want to volunteer when we go to install the ramps, many hands make light work. We'll get information out via, Brian will send an email out of time, location, and with the more people we have, especially Sean, if you have construction background, we'd love to have you. Even if you don't have construction background, we'd still love to have you. But it's one of the programs that we support, and we're trying to do more of these throughout the year. Bruce has attended the state convention the last 3 years, and we've had a booth, and he's put it out to the state. That's why we're doing stuff in Tacoma. We've done, didn't we, Elmer, didn't you go over to the east? Yeah, close to Leavenworth. Otis, our former commander, has a trailer at his house that we use to transport all the materials. So we'll put out more information about the upcoming next 2 projects when Bruce has got them lined up. Yes.
We did 5 ramps last year. I suppose any state didn't.
And we'd love to do more. UPS is a partner company with the home front at National for Ramp It Up. So the materials get shipped gratis from UPS to us, And then Bruce, his former boss, allows us to store all the materials on his lot down off of Maple. So it's a pretty good deal. And we'd like to, I mean, if we could do more ramps next year, we've had more people request them. We just didn't have, as Bruce said, the parts and stuff to do them at the time. So the more that come in, if people want to volunteer and help Bruce, get with him after the meeting and you can get his number and we'd love to have you. All right, adopt a unit.
Hunter. Boy, everybody, I've got some great news. First off, thank you everyone for signing the thank you cards. Why did we do these thank you cards? Because the recruiter in town, Sergeant First Class Sarah Braun, came and supported at the Quiet Day Parade with personnel. Furthermore, the other one's going to the 176 command team in FRG. You might ask why. Well, first off, we get out there, we put everybody out there so that way people know we're here present and what we do in the community. Furthermore, because we kick ass so much, we won first place in the motorized specialty. Sorry for swearing.
The Bible's open.
Yeah, my bad. I'm just so fired up, man. We got first place in the motorized specialty category. So round of applause for first place. That certificate's coming in. I'm gonna get that to Eric English because the Armed Forces trailer is really what sealed the deal on that one. If you haven't seen it, I'll show you a video after meeting. If you want to join the committee, get with me after meeting. The next couple items I've got here, let's see. Talked about thank yous, the Quiet Day Parade. Now I've got a harder one. Back in November of 2021, Staff Sergeant John Yeti passed away, a member of our unit here in town, of our adopted unit, as well as a post member. And so he lived over in Bremerton. He passed away from cancer. Okay. And so one of his wishes were to a cedar tree in his property would be removed so it wouldn't fall on the family's house when he was gone. We fundraised money to have that tree removed, that hazardous tree removed. When we got the invoice, the company, Daryl Emmels, actually said, we don't even want the money. We did it for free. Wow. We furthermore fundraised with all that cedar. We brought it across the sound. We split it at the armory, and then we fundraised further to a grand total of $3,400. At the meeting on November 2nd, actually the day Sergeant Getty died, we moved and approved taking all that money instead of retaining it, setting up 3 education funds equally amounts for all his daughters, 3 daughters, all at the age of 8. All right. Now that widow's went through the grieving process. 3 years almost has passed, and she's finally ready to set those funds up. And so I'm bringing it up as a reminder to us of what we do and why we do it, to add value, to show we're there to care, and to make sure our treasurer understands that when I get those account numbers, we're going to get them to him, and then we're going to make good on our promise from 2.5, 3 years ago. Okay. Now the next one is some more fun things. That's going to be 3 separate motions. The fruit and veggie platter came to a total of $61.93. We agreed to do veggie and fruit platter support the unit at their drills at a cadence of once a quarter. August was identified by the unit to do that because they had their family day this weekend. And so we stayed under budget at $75. So I would move that we would approve a $61.93 transaction.
Do I have a second?
Sure.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you. The next one, we also approved at the previous meeting, as in the last 2 years hence, that we would do a $300 donation for equipment and whatnot to support their family day, like bouncy house, cotton candy, machine rental, things like that. So we got 2 pieces of equipment, a jousting thing and a bouncy house, in total $450. We moved for $300. We actually only have to pay $250 because the jousting, while the blow up thing came, the jousting bugles didn't. So they didn't charge us. And so I'm just letting you know that that's $250 instead of the $300, Stanley. And the motion is for, there's a military assistance program through big VFW, National VFW, where we can apply for grants. For the last 3 years, I've never been denied. This is the first year I put in to support their foodstuffs, like I have in years past, and we were denied. Not because of merit, but lack of funds. And so I got with the executive team and said, what should we do? And the executive team said, you should just put it out there to see if we will cover that $500. So I would move that we cover the additional $500 spent that big VFW couldn't help support us with this year.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Motion passed.
That's everything. If you want to get together with, what's that, Elmer?
You got something down on the 23rd, the doctor unit?
This one?
No. Oh, no.
Correct.
Camp out was
The camp out was canceled. I'm glad that you brought that up, Elmer. So we put it onto the adoption committee thread. If you want to get on the committee, get with me. I'll get you in the signal group so you can get, stay apprised as things, change. So Elmer, thank you for bringing that up because it was canceled due to lack of interest by the unit members this year. Not lack of us, but things are really busy for them right now and it's just not feasible.
The camp out, just so you guys know, was gonna be up at Naval Station Jim Creek, up by Arlington. And the whole unit was gonna go up and some of the committee members, we were gonna go up and camp out with them, just to have a good time and hang out. But obviously, as Tom said, it didn't happen, so hopefully it'll happen next year. Do you want to talk about, the family day? And, I mean, you talk about the expenses, but
Yeah, so now that the money's done, thank you again for all those motions. It was a great event. We had 6 of our adopted unit members there. We had the service officer, the assistant service officer, Bob Barker there, and a number of others to help set up, tear down, taking out trash so there'd be one less thing that the unit members would have to do. We had a great time with the DJ equipment, providing music. And again, with that $500, we had burgers. It was a ball of a time. And so that, again, adding value to their life gives us the opportunity to have some of those soldiers who have deployed join our ranks. And so it's a great time.
It's actually requested.
You remember?
yeah.
the newest.
He's already helped put around.
They get younger.
You too provide.
So some of the other programming that we do is help sort toys and educational supplies that get donated. We do that at the armory. We typically do coffee and cookies when they do drill at the armory. Right now, they're dispersed. Again, they're far away. That's why their family day was down at JBLM. So I applaud all the committee members who spent the time to not only do Kahia days with them, but also drive an hour and a half south to make it happen and support them. So thank you.
So, programs, Voice Democracy, Patriot Pen, Youth SA, Scout. Those, I'm passing the torch this year because it's actually supposed to be the junior vice, which is Carson. So we'll get together after. You've been there to vote and review and all that stuff. But a lot of it's gonna be easier this year. So VFW National it hasn't really changed the program, but they made it easier on us. For Patriot Pen and Voice of Democracy, the students are gonna have to upload their essays to the national website. And the reason being is for plagiarism. So like my wife was an English teacher and they had this software that schools used called turnitin.com. Kids would submit their papers and it would flag the teacher if anything was plagiarized. So VFW National is going to use that for Patriot Pen and Voice of Democracy. Youth Essay is a state of Washington program only, and it's going to be old school where the students turn in a paper copy and then we'll vote on their essays. And part of our budget that we're going to present at next month's meeting will include the awards for all these programs. So typically what we've done in the past is $100 for first place, $75 for second, and $50 for third at each level. And then typically for Scout and Teacher of the Year, we haven't really been getting a lot of submissions for those. Sean's daughter won at the post level and the district level last year. And then Teacher of the Year, we do get our post, because my wife's a principal and then with me working in the school district, we've been getting enough submissions that we're able to outfit the entire district with teachers. So teachers from our area get recognized from all the posts in the county. And so we will typically get several Teachers of the Year. That's not an issue. Law enforcement, fire and safety, and 911 dispatch. That's Otis's program. He's got connections. He's been running it for years. And we give out the same amount, $100 to each one of those members, and that'll be in our budget that we present next month. Membership. So Matt, it's supposed to be, so what we're doing is we're aligning all our programs with the people that are supposed to be running them. So Carson is junior vice. That's a junior vice program that he's gonna be running for the post. I'm junior vice of the district, so I'll be taking all the stuff from him and the other 8 other posts in the district. And then we'll be running the program for our district and then setting up the state and national. But Matt is senior vice, and senior vice is doing membership. He was doing it before he became senior vice, so the job matches his post job, so it worked out perfect. He's not here, but as I mentioned earlier, we hit our mark right on stride. And a lot of it is what Matt does with his connections with his guard units, all of us, our connections in town and our information booths. So just keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, I have a list of about 24 members that didn't renew this year that we got to try to call and get them to renew for next year to make that a lot easier. Okay, remember our national home. All present will rise. Let's hand hut. Uncover. Parade rest. Chapel, you now ask for divine blessings upon our national home for children.
Mighty God, we ask thy divine blessing on the children, families, and staff of our National Home for Children in Eden Rapids, Michigan. May your spirit dwell with them forever, giving them health and guidance to their lives. Help us to always be faithful to our fallen comrades by providing support for their families. We ask in your holy name. Amen.
Attend hut. Cover. For those that are new, 2 wraps, 2 feet, 1 wrap, 1 seat. All right, unfinished business, Clyde A. Sprague. Tom kind of already alluded to it, that he and I are out there representing the post, handing out flyers. That's how we got Brett. And there was another CV retired that's a teacher in Marysville. She wanted to come. I'll still probably try to ping her because I know where she works and send her a note to her school email. But like you mentioned, we have the motorized veterans trailer. And it's and Eric's done a really good job of making sure it's mechanically up to speed, that it's in okay shape. But we probably need to do a motion to see if we can dedicate some funds and some elbow grease to get it up to speed. So right now it has Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. Obviously, we have the Space Force, so we need to add something for the Space Force to reflect those service members and veterans. Additionally, the flags that are on display are kind of worn and tattered, so we need to make a motion to update that as well. Some of the paint on it and the paint on the trailer and the paint on it's a giant stump, huge stump that was hand carved with all the logos in it. If anybody has any connections with an artist in town or somebody that's really good at hand painting, that probably needs to get updated as well. Like Tom mentioned, we got first place for mechanical float. Yeah. And so we want to make sure that it looks good for next year. So I'd like someone to make a motion.
That was the third one I forgot. I moved that we spent not to exceed $500 to bring the Armed Forces trailer back into its glory.
Okay, and if it exceeds that? I'm just
Eric didn't think we'd even spend that much.
Okay.
To be honest.
All right, so we've got a motion on the floor, not to exceed $500 to update the trailer. Do I have a second? Okay, any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All right. So I'll have you get with Eric. Oh, sorry, all in favor? Anybody opposed? Okay, get you with Eric and when I have him submit receipts. Anybody have or know anybody that hand paints or does anything like that, any kind of artwork? Okay, we'll put it out there maybe via our Facebook page and or website as well. Great.
New business.
No, unfinished still. JROTC scholarship. So in May, I was supposed to attend the JROTC award ceremony and hand out a certificate and a medal to one of their cadets based on Captain Will Lennon's input. Additionally, we've always presented, I want to say it's $1,000 scholarship to cadets to use. They didn't, because there was a snafu with the original date of the presentation. And when they rescheduled, I couldn't be there, but also he didn't hand out the scholarship. So I think at the May meeting, correct me if I'm wrong, because I wasn't here, you guys voted to retract the funds, correct?
It was moved to retain the funds until the next year and to move that we would consider not just providing the money for college, because it's specific for college, but he didn't have anyone go into college. It was all trade schools. And so for your consideration, change, if we would fund it for trade schools, and then we'd have 2 scholarships for next year.
Okay, and that motion passed?
Yeah.
Okay, so just want to put it out there that, so everyone's aware, we're going to donate $2,000 next year, and it's going to be at the commander's discretion of how he divvies up. There's a parent committee of how they divvy up the funds to be given out to the students that are deserving. Stanley?
4015 for $1,000, going to be,
I say void it. Yeah, just,
going to be voided.
yeah, I would say void it, and I'll talk to Will. Yeah, I'll make sure he does. But we'll void that. So next year, that donation will be $2,000. And we'll put that, it'll reflect in our September budget.
But we do need to make a motion on the change.
Okay, all right.
As you all have heard, we didn't have anyone go into trade schools this year through the JROTC program. So then we couldn't give the money because it was only for college. And so with integrity, Captain Lennon gave it back. And so I would move that we would provide Captain Lennon or the JROTC commander, if not him, the opportunity to fund whatever schooling the student wanted.
Do you have a second? Any discussion? Yes.
Hey, leave it up to the student.
Well, no, it's going to be so Tom said commander. So it's going to be up to Will Lennon and he's the senior instructor. He's the commander, and probably the parent committee that helps. They're like their family readiness group kind of thing. They're their committee that helps the students. So they would probably vote on who the worthy cadets are that would get the funds.
Country needs construction workers,
Absolutely.
all kinds.
Yep. So, yes.
And it would be as simple as just adding that college or trade,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Super easy. Okay.
Yeah. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor? Anybody opposed? Okay, motion passed. Well, when the time comes, I'll get with Stanley, get the checks or the check made for next spring. FY25 annual budget, as I discussed. I'm going to grab the members of the executive committee, have them over that we've done in years past. We're going to hammer out a budget. So some of the things that we're talking about that Tom has made motions. Once we approve a budget, if these items are in the budget and we approve the budget, then we don't have to vote on them during the regular year. We can just approve them one time at the budget meeting, which will be next month. And then throughout the year, when the funds need to be dispersed, we've already approved them at one time. And then the quartermaster will just cut the checks. Okay. New business, hops and drops, 11/19/2024, 5 to 8 p.m. That's for the American Legion. So we're here at their post. They're trying to make funds to update the building, which I want to tell you, they're doing a great job now. So their executive committee and leadership have done some reworking of their assets and how they manage them and how funds get allocated. And so they have a stream of income to them that they're going to be able to use to do maintenance on the building, where in previous years they didn't have any reserve cash or anything, and they were paying as they went on in like an emergency status. Now they're actually able to make a priority list for the building and start attacking issues that need to be updated. So, if we can show up on, the 19th of November, 5 to 8 p.m., all we gotta do is eat and drink and support our comrades here at the post. VFW District 1 Gala, October 19th, 2024, is at the Flying Heritage and Combat Armor Museum in Everett. So that's Paul Allen's museum, which is over by Payne Field. They have the capacity for 175 guests. It's going to be a black tie formal affair. It's $160 per person. If you're a veteran, you get a 10% discount. If you know anybody that wants to sponsor a table, then it's $1,280. What the district is trying to do is raise funds so that they can support the same programs we do. The district doesn't really have a stream of income to be able to give out cash prizes and things like that. Sean's daughter won Scout of the Year at the district, but she didn't really get recognized because they don't have anything set up in place. So the district commander, the senior vice commander, myself said, okay, we gotta come up with a way where we can raise funds and support these programs. And so that's what this gala is, one of the activities that we're gonna do. So if you can put on your calendar, invite friends, we'd love to have you. And the website is on the bottom of the link. And I just went there today. Super easy to sign up. But we'd love to have as many members as possible. And you could bring all your Navy friends and show up in SDVs. And you'd probably drink for free all night if you could. So, and all the folks from the 176, since we support all the programs, I think it'd be awesome to have a bunch of soldiers or guardsmen there. That'd be great. Okay, next. And anybody from your unit too. New business, VFW picnic, August of next year. So George put this out 2 years ago. And for our first year doing it, it was pretty successful. We had over 60 people there. I think Bruce, you barbecued, right? Jamie lost to the girls in cornhole and lost his handmade cornhole boards.
That's pretty bad.
Yes. Well, he's pretty good at cornhole. So I mean, I know it's a wound. But anyway, George says he wants to take it on for next year as the chairman, but we need people to help him and come up with a date, secure the American Legion Park, come up with a budget so we can approve the budget for how much funds we want to expend. In the previous one, it was open to all veterans, not just members here at our post. And he had folks there from like family readiness folks that can help and service officers that can help veterans in need. And that's the thing. We don't want to just have it as a social event, which we do, but we want to go above and beyond that where we can serve veterans and their needs in the community. So if you want to step up to that, come see me afterwards and I'll get you George's number and email, and then you can reach out to him and we get the ball rolling and do it upright. Yes. Are you stand? Okay. Okay. Next. All right. So this is a new one. VFW Post 921 Senior Scholarship. As you saw when Stanley did his quartermaster's report, we're sitting on a lot of cash, and we should be able to do stuff in our community to help our community. So I propose that we do a new student scholarship for this year, in addition to the JROTC scholarship, and we make it open to any senior at Snohomish High School, Glacier Peak High School, AIM, the alternative campus here in town, Lake Stevens High School, and Granite Falls High School, and Archbishop Murphy. So the criteria that I propose for the scholarship is that they're a senior, they're a son or a daughter of a veteran, and they have to fill out an application. Their application would include an essay, 3 letters of recommendation, and a copy of their parents' DD 214, so we can verify their veteran status. So what did I say, 1,500. So that's what I'd like to propose. It'll be part of our budget. We don't have to make a motion tonight, but on the amount, we'll approve that next time. But I want to get a motion to approve the actual scholarship, not the amount. So kind of a motion to approve the program.
I'd like to present a motion.
Okay, do I have a second? Okay, and discussion. So we can open up to everyone. Yes, Bruce.
I'm have grandkids in there. We're too old to have kids, so you kind of discarded us.
So we can amend that.
That would be a wonderful idea.
Would you like a friendly amendment?
Sure would.
Do you propose a friendly amendment?
I will. Was that it'd be for grandsons or granddaughters also.
Okay. And do I have a second on that motion? Okay. Any discussion on the friendly amendment? Any discussion on the friendly amendment? Any discussion on the friendly amendment? Okay, the amendment has been passed. Now, oh wait, sorry. Vote on the friendly amendment. All in favor? Anybody opposed? All for the friendly amendment. Now we have to vote on the actual scholarship program itself. Yes,
That'd be for college or trade school, like.
correct. Just they submit a request to get the funds and they can use it for college and or trade school.
This fall under the current youth scholarship committee as a addition, you know what I mean? Or would it be its own?
Well, I could dump it on Carson. We could make it part of the youth program.
Something to consider.
Okay. But any discussion on the scholarship program itself? Right? And no discussion being heard? Yes.
So this is a senior scholarship, and what was the other one?
The other one was for JROTC.
Sure, okay.
So I mean, technically, a JROTC member could apply for the scholarship if he met the criteria and get both. So, yep.
Clear, thank you.
Yes. Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Okay. All in favor of the motion? Anyone opposed? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Next. So because this amount exceeds $500 and it's would be part of our budget if we're doing our budget next month, but it'll be included in the budget. Annual programs approval. So part of our criteria to make all state is that we donate to different programs. So the Veterans Service Fund, the requirement's $100. Heroes in the Ballpark is $100. Homeless Veterans Fund's $100. National Home and Eat Rapids that we talk about every meeting is $100. And then State Commander Special Product is $250. So Tom, do you remember what the amount was that we paid for the tickets for Heroes in the Ballpark this year? Or Stanley, do you remember?
We paid nothing, Commander.
Yeah.
We paid nothing. We were reached out to by the state because we have such an awesome adopt a unit program. They gave us like 25 tickets for free entry, food, beer, everything. So our adopt a unit got to go at no cost.
Okay. So, if someone can make a motion to approve our annual program budget,
That we approve the VFW annual program budget as presented.
any seconds?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Anybody have questions about the programs or anything like that? And this is the minimum. We could donate more if we want to, but this is the minimum amount to meet the criteria for all state. Any more discussion? Any discussion? All in favor? Anyone opposed? All right. Motion passed. Stanley, if you go ahead and send Jason the checks for those amounts. Contact him. Okay, next. We already talked about the post parade asset renovation. Eric's the head of the committee. Does anybody want to work on the trailer or help with the trailer project? Or want to think about it? So Carson, Scott, Tom, okay. Come see me after the meeting and I'll get you Eric's email and phone number. You can reach out to him. And once we get the ball rolling, then I don't know what the tire situation's on it, but I have a contact at Les Schwab, and maybe if it needs new tires, we get new tires put on it and get the bearings greased or whatever. Any maintenance like that they could do, that might be helpful too. Okay, next. So upcoming events. Veterans Day at Snohomish Senior Center. I reached out to the director of the Snohomish Senior Center. That's how we got Dan and other members who joined. Veterans Day is on a Monday this year. So once she has that scheduled at the senior center, I'll put the information out. Love to have anyone that can attend. It's a great event. In years past, it's been a sit-down breakfast, but we got so big that it made it tough. So they did kind of like a buffet with breakfast food where you went through and got like coffee, donuts, and Danish and things like that. And last year's guest speaker was our Congresswoman Susan Del Bene. And we had a veteran who was also a guest speaker. He was on like the POW MIA team in Vietnam. And he was at his desk processing deceased members. And one of the members that came through had his exact name. They were identical, just different birthdays. So he shared the story of how that hit him. He ended up reaching out to the family, and they've been friends for 50 years. The service member's daughter, great niece, and mother were in attendance at the event. They flew in from out of town to be there for it. So it was pretty cool. So as soon as I get a date for that, we'll go ahead and put that out. Veterans Day event at Snohomish High School. How many of you have attended that? Okay. It's probably not going to be on Veterans Day because that's the day off for the school. Most likely to be the Thursday prior. But it's open to all of us. In years past, they did a full breakfast, but last year was more kind of the same thing. Breakfast buffet. We go in, meet and greet with the principal and staff members and students, and just have a chance to share stories and have fun. And then we go to the school assembly. So Snohomish High School started the program in the state that made Veterans Day awareness assemblies mandatory for all schools. So Hal Moe, who was the principal at Snohomish High School at the time, was a former Marine colonel, and he and a bunch of the students went down to the state legislature and got that passed into law. So it's, Snohomish is a very veteran-friendly school, and if you guys can make it, we'd love to have you there. Reach Across America, I'll give you an update on that. Our post in Monroe 7511 started the program at the IOOF Cemetery in Monroe. They did it, I think the first one was 3 years ago, and they have enough wreaths donated to where they had one on every veteran grave site at that cemetery, and they gave us about 75 to put on the GAR. The Grand Army of the Republic Cemetery is owned and operated by American Legion Post 96. The manager, who's a member of our post here, Daryl Gurnis, estimates right now that there's 5,000 veteran grave sites at the GAR. So between American Legion Post 96, ourselves, and any of our veteran friends, we're going to try to get donations to get all 5,000 wreaths purchased through donations. It's $15 a wreath. $10 goes to pay for the wreath itself. And then American Legion Post 96 and us will split the other $5 for all the wreaths. So quickly do the math. It's a huge fundraiser for us and American Legion. So like I said, I'm going to be the junior ROTC assistant instructor with Captain Lennon. And Daryl has about 40% of the cemetery veteran members' grave sites mapped out, but there's 60% more that they got to do. So I'm going to try to do a volunteer day after school on a Friday. The kids get out at 12:15. I'm going to take the cadets over there. If anybody else wants to volunteer, I'll put out the date and the time. But we're going to go down every row in the cemetery that hasn't been mapped out yet with clipboards and identify all the veteran sites that we can see from their grave marker. Now, there's going to be grave sites that don't have a marker on them saying they're a veteran. And Daryl's going to try to reach out to families to get it out there to have them verify the veteran status of anyone that's missed. But the goal is to get every veteran gravesite identified, have that number set up by September, put it out there on our website, the American Legion Post website, our Facebook pages. And Daryl's pretty handy with all that website stuff. And we'll have a poster up here in the window of the American Legion Post. We'll have a QR code. And all you do is someone's walking by and they want to donate, they just take a picture of the QR code. They can donate for 1 wreath or 10 wreaths or whatever they want to donate. But the goal is to get all the wreaths taken care of this year. The way the program works, all the wreaths are made in Maine, and then truckers donate their time, fuel, and everything else, and they ship the wreaths to us, and they're delivered. So this year it's going to be December 14th, Saturday. So they're all delivered to the cemeteries like the day before, and then we'll have a ceremony, and then asking for volunteers to come out and lay the wreaths on every gravesite. Pretty cool experience. Has anybody participated in Reach Across America yet? Yeah, and it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be awesome for us to take care of it right here in our hometown, and especially with the number of veterans that are buried at the cemetery. Okay. Yes. We could ask if someone wants to volunteer and walk up and down First Street or other places. We'd love to get it out there as any way we can. So, great idea. Nomination elections and installation officers, we don't have any. Anything for the good of the order? Good of the order? Okay. Nothing heard. Closing ceremonies. All right. There being no further business, we will have our closing ceremony. All right. Man Chaplain, will you deliver the closing prayer? Untan hut, uncover, parade rest.
Almighty God, the hour has come for us when we must part. We commit ourselves to thy care. Thou who art our strong tower and of defense and of our protection, grant that in life's battle we may be strong and brave, living lives of stainless integrity as shall reflect our honor upon our country and the veterans of foreign wars of the United States, and glorify thy great and holy name. May thy good providence shield us from all harm. Watch over those who even now guard the gates of freedom, and bring us together again in true comradeship and peace. Amen.
Okay. Untan hut, cover. And salute. Ready to? Comrades, I declare this business session of VFW Post 921 closed. Our next regular meeting will be held at American Legion Post 96 on September 3rd at 6 p.m. Thank you for coming. Please join us upstairs for pizza and drinks if you can stay.
And Sunday for the picnic.
Oh, yeah. For those of you that are members of American Legion Post 96, the post picnic is at the American Legion Park off of 3 Lakes Road in Maple. I don't have the time. Bruce, you have the time? Noon. So if you want to go to that, then they'd love to have you. Yeah.
I'll be quick.
Just didn't know if you knew that Granite Falls American Legion is
Oh, is it? Good.
having their picnic and their first member meeting
Okay.
in September.
Okay.
So, and they're also got a cemetery.
Right.
So they're looking for people to help with all that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Do we have a booth at the fair this year? Booth at the fair this year?